Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Jane from Misunderstood. Now today I'm going to talk about auditory, visual and sensory processing disorders. Now these are conditions in which the brain has difficulty receiving and responding to information that comes in through the senses. Auditory processing disorder makes it difficult for children to process what others are saying. They will often misunderstand verbal instructions. They will struggle to understand what people are saying in noisy environments. Watching the TV at a normal volume can be difficult. They can mix up words that sound familiar. This will have a detrimental effect on trying to learn new things. It's not a hearing impairment. You can pass a hearing test and still be diagnosed with auditory processing disorder. Now researchers don't fully understand where the problem exists, between what the ears hear and what the brain processes. But they have found it's related to the central nervous system. And then we have visual processing disorder. Now visual processing disorder is a condition that makes it difficult to interpret visual information. You may have difficulty reading or distinguishing different shapes. Again, you may pass a vision test but not be able to spot the difference between a triangle or a square. This also has a major impact on learning, but it also impacts socialisation, self-esteem and day-to-day living. People think the eyes are responsible for processing what you see. It's actually the brain that does all the work and allows us to understand symbols, pictures, distance. It's a weakness in communication between the eyes and the brain. Now you can recognise signs of visual processing issues. You're unable to focus. You have trouble finishing simple puzzles. You can struggle with following directions. You'll be clumsy, drop things, bump into things, get confused with letters like B and D. And your fine motor skills are affected with this. You may have difficulty cutting up food, zipping clothes, doing up buttons. For some people, the effects of visual processing disorder can be so strong that they can even be sick at the sight of certain foods. And sensory processing disorder is when the brain becomes overloaded and unable to organise all the information coming from the senses. It's a condition in which the brain is unable to accurately process sensations. Now this will be displayed as someone being oversensitive or undersensitive to their senses. The interpretation of sensory information makes daily life more challenging. If you're hypersensitive, you will find certain clothes itchy or irritating. You can't handle loud noises and bright lights. You don't like being touched. You don't like being in crowds. You're distracted by background noise that others can barely hear. You're unable to control how much force you apply. You could be writing with a pencil and rip the paper, and you're prone to strong emotions and extreme behaviours. If you're hyposensitive, you can have a high pain threshold. You'll have difficulty with personal space. You'll get too close to people. You will have difficulty sitting still for long, banging into walls, misjudging a door frame. You crave intense movements and love deep pressure. You will have a massive urge to keep touching things, literally bouncing off walls, and also prone to strong emotions and extreme behaviours. Now, if these difficulties were recognised early enough in a child, then the right support can be put in place. If they love intense movements, they're going to benefit from doing something like being on a swing for like 10 minutes. It will regulate them. If they love deep pressure, just wearing a tight vest underneath clothing will help regulate them, or a weighted blanket. Now these conditions generally coexist with other disorders like ADHD. More recognition is needed instead of being labelled as the naughty child. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you've understood what I've said. Any questions, you can contact me through Facebook or on my website. And please subscribe to my channel and press the bell to be notified of any new videos. Thank you. Bye.